is everyone doing this morning? I hope that your day is off to a wonderful, fantastic start. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Carrington. Not your first time here, hi, welcome back. How's the family? If you enjoy any and all things makeup related, some book stuff here and there, definitely go ahead, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell so you can join this dumpster fire family. Don't forget to also go and follow me over on Instagram, trying to post more there. And let's get into today's video, which is so exciting because if you are not new here, you guys know I love Give Me Glow. I love me some Give Me Glow. And Give Me Glow launched some new products. So we are going to be testing them out today. So first things first is they came up with a couple little like curated palettes. So we have one that's the Nightlife. This is more of like a pinky yellow kind of a palette. And then we have the Nightlife. And this is more of a, do they both say Nightlife? Did I literally just say that? They both say Nightlife. Okay, so we have two Nightlife palettes where one is like more like yellow, pinky, orangey, and then we've got like the bluish one. This is like more blue green types of colors, so we're definitely going to go and we're going to get into swatches with those as well. Then I did purchase a new brush. So they had come out with a like bronzer blush brush. I picked that up, and the reason being is because I picked up some of their new bronzers. I honestly had no idea what bronzers to go with. They had quite a few bronzer options. Like, it was definitely a lot, but I didn't find in the description. I found where it was helpful to find out what's going to be better for like more fair skin, deep skin, medium skin tone, things like that. So I just went with what I thought were the lightest options. So we have this one right here, Good Times and Tan Lines. Then we have this one, this is Sandy Buns, and then the last one that I picked up is this one called Don't Be Salty. So I was hoping these would probably be like the lightest options to choose from. So we're definitely going to dive on into that, and then we'll put on a Give Me Glow lip. But those are all the things that we're going to try out. I'm going to do one look per eye from a palette. So I'll do one eye with the purple palette, one eye with like the more pink palette, purple palette, blue and green palette, and one with more of like the like pinky orange palette. And then we'll just like come back together and give some thoughts. So if you guys are excited to see what I think of these products, do they hold up to the normal Give Me Glow standards that I love so much, then definitely keep on watching. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive on into some swatches of the palettes. Now, disclaimer that I did want to say about these palettes. Number one is not all of the shades are brand new. Some of them are already existing shades, and then there are some shades that are new. I own all of the singles. I went ahead and just repurchased them anyway, so that way I could just hurry up and just like get them all at once and check out. So I did that. The other thing I wanted to say is in like the pinky palette, there was a shimmer shade. It was something roses or something like that. That they were not, or they are no longer like sending out. The reason being is it was just shattering and the batch wasn't as good. So they have since replaced that. I picked another shade. I picked Roses Remix. I already own this as well, but I think it's a really beautiful color, so you know, I needed a backup. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive on into the swatches. We're going to start off with the bluish green palette. So we have Limeade right here. This is like a very beautiful neon type green. We have Kelly Green, which is a little bit more of like a deeper normal. It's almost like if you went and picked up the Crayola Crown green, it would look like this, maybe just a smidge darker. Then we have Mojito. This is definitely like a mint type green. We have Sky High. This is a very light pastel type of blue. And then we have Sea Princess. It's almost like a mixture of like, we're going to go with Seafoam Green. That's what I'm going to call it, Seafoam Green. Then we have Door Girl. This is like a periwinkle type blue. And then we have Sapphire Club, which is definitely looks like a regular blue. The Roses Remix is like a bronze champagne kind of color. Then you have this right here called Ocean Water. It's okay, didn't swatch the best, but it is just kind of like a very light blue. And then we have this one right here. This is called Mermaid Waters. So it is a blue with a shift of green in it. Moving on to the next palette. This is coming to the stage. This is a pink with like some yellow purple type shifts in this. We have I'm With the DJ. This is like a pinky purple kind of a matte. We have Bubblegum, which is indeed like a very bubblegum matte. We have 21 and Up. This is like a coral type of shade. Then we have Mango Margarita, which is like a very much like a mango. It's like a very bright orange type color. We have Sunny, which is like an orangish yellow type of color. You would definitely see that like in like a sunset or something like that. Then we have Going Bananas. This is a foil shade, so it's like a yellow shimmer. Then we have Sunburst. So this is kind of a pink orange with like some yellow and some like light green shift to it. Like it's like you kind of catch it, where it's just like a little bit green. Then we have Orange Soda Pop, which is definitely the color orange. And then we have last, Place Your Bets. This is like a very bright, intense neon type of pink. Let's go ahead. We're going to dive on into an eye look. I'm kind of now debating if I want to do, I think I'm going to do 2 looks with this palette, one on each eye. And then I will come in with this palette right here and do a look on each eye. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think, because I want to get the most use out of these palettes. So let's go ahead and let's dive on in. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to dive on into, we're going to use this palette right here. I can't believe this is called like the Nightlife. Like I could have sworn they were all called something else. No, I guess it's not. It's really not. It's literally, I could have sworn that like they were each called something different. So we're going to do something a little bit more orangish, and then we'll do something a little bit more like pinky purple. So let's go ahead. Let's start off. I'm going to start off with the shade, this right here. This is called Sunny. I'm pretty sure it's called Sunny. I can't remember. Nope. Yep. It's Sunny. I'm just going to take that on my blending brush and put it, ooh, right here. I will say, wow, that is pigmented. I mean, we weren't really expecting anything less from Give Me Glow, if we're going to be honest, but it's still nice to be surprised every time. So beautiful. I feel like maybe I should zoom you guys in, I think. Just going to focus that up here. So beautiful. I love this so much. Okay. Then we're going to just go ahead, I'm going to start color switching my brush, because we're then going to go into, let's go into this shade right here for the other eye, and this is the Bubblegum shade, and so we'll just take that and start, oh yeah, pigmented. Wow. You know, Give Me Glow in their pigmentation, I don't know what it is, but I'm here for it. Like, I'm 100% here for it. Alright, I feel like I need a little bit more on this side. So next, going into this eye right here, I'm then going to go into, let's do this shade right here. This is, I think, Mango Margarita. It is. We've got Mango Margarita. We'll take that. This has a lot of kick up. This one has a lot of kick up. And we're just going to focus that like in the crease. Then, okay, this is the part where it might be a struggle. Actually, it's not going to be a struggle. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this dark purple shade, and I'm just going to, like, this is going to be like a 2 matte look over on the other eye. And start to, like, blend this into the crease, and then put some on, like, the outer corner portion of my eye, and then just really focus on deepening up the outer corner part. Then we're going to take the next brush, and we're going to go into this shade right here. This is Orange Soda Pop, and we're going to take that. Ooh, this, wow, it's a lot of kick up. You know, we're just going to focus that into like the outer corner part of my eyes. Alright, I went and NYX glitter glued both my eyelids. So for this over here, I'm going to go into that Sunburst shade and just start like tapping that on. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This is really pretty. Wow. That's stunning. I mean, that's really pretty. You can see like the green, the gold, the orange. So then we're gonna go over onto the other side and we're gonna go into that coming to the stage. And we're just gonna like tap that on there. Ooh, that's really pretty too. GIVEMEGLOW shadows are all just really pretty. Like the end. But like, look at that. That is so pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna go finish off a good portion of my face because we're just gonna come back, lower lash line, bronzer, and lips. So hold tight. Okay, I literally cannot stand myself sometimes. I really can't. So anyways, I thought I was filming and I was not, but what I'm trying to do is trying to use up like the rest of the mattes in this palette. So over on this side, I took the shade right here called 21 and Up, smoked it all out, and then I took the big huge like the neon pink called Place Your Bets and smoked that out as well. Don't necessarily know that I like that combo, but I'm trying to use up all the shades. So then I'm going into that Mango Margarita shade again, not the lightest one. Sunny was the lightest one that we used. It's like the medium one. And then I'm going to take just that dark orange soda and just kind of smoke that along here. Okay, this is a trust the process. Just remember that. You always gotta trust the process. So now we're gonna go into a bronzer. I think I wanna try, let's try Don't Be Salty, which was that like more darkest but also wasn't super orange. Okay, we'll see. All right, so and then we're gonna take that brush. So this GIVEMEGLOW bronzer brush really just looks like it's going to like just hug right in there. So I'm just gonna take, that was dipping in twice. So let's see. Just start working that. Okay, so far not bad. I don't know. Okay, so it does look nice. It's not too orange on like the skin, and it really is easy to just like fluff out. Okay, we'll just start. Not bad. Okay, all right. So the last thing we have is going to be some lip options. So let me just come back so we can do that. All right, so here are the looks that we've come up with the first palette. We've got one that's a little bit more yellow orange and a little bit one that's a little bit more pinky. I'm not gonna lie, the shimmer that is on this eye, I am obsessed with. I think that is so, like, that is so beautiful. It's like my all-time favorite. Okay, so like in terms, first of all, we need to like talk. I am trying to use up brow pencils, right? Like that's like my goal. So I broke this one back out, and remember, I do not like the little brow gel that it comes with, but like, can we just talk about how this is like, how warm this is? Like, this is warm. Like, this is so warm. Also, another thing I wanted to talk about, because this was brought up in a comment, when it comes to like my brows, when I go like this, okay, they look very similar. They look very even. When they are in their natural state, this one looks a little bit up more and arched, and this one looks a little bit flatter. The reason being is because, one, my eyebrows grow in different shapes. since I shaved them off when I was 12. And next of all, my eyes are very much differently hooded. So like this eye, you can see a lot more of the eye. You know, the flap isn't covering everything. So it's definitely like a little bit more lifted. This brow, okay, this part like eats my eye. So like, see, if I had like lifted my brows like this, they would be similar. So they are similar. It just may not always look like it, okay? That's just how it is, all right? That's just how facial construction works. I would have to go get a, where the fat suctioned out of my eyes right here, and then a brow lift to get my eyebrows to look even somewhat similar. So, before you come with like shitty comments, just know sometimes your facial shape and anatomy just doesn't work in your favor. That doesn't mean that your eyebrows are way the hell off, because they look very similar whenever I'm able to get them up there at the same length. Okay? All right, so here are the first looks done. I'm going to be honest. That's a no. That's a no. I think I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of that one. But here's the look for that one. We're going to go ahead and let's dive on into 2 looks using this palette right here. Okay, so now we're going to go and we're going to dive on into this really beautiful, like, greeny blue type of palette. So I'm first going to take my very first color. Let's do the blue first. So I'm going to go into this right here. This is called Sky High, I'm pretty sure. Yes, Sky High. I'm going to take that on my big blending brush and just start. Okay. So this is providing some really good pigmentation. Blues are kind of hard to formulate, just so you're aware. So this one we may have to kind of just like continually layer to get to that pigmentation that we want. So that's what we're going to do. Just continue rolling. Getting just like a little bit patchy, so I'm going to start stamping that color on. There we go. Yes. And just kind of lightly blend it where I need it to, and stamp if I need any other color anywhere else. Then I'm just going to color switch that brush, and we're going to go into the shade. Okay, yeah, let's start with this. So this is Mojito. Ooh. Quite a bit of like hiccup. So again, this kind of starts out with some pretty decent pigmentation. Now remember, this is like a pastel mint type of green. So we may have to just kind of start stamping that in where we want it. And that's going to be the best way for these two, because they are more pastel. And then we'll just start lightly blending where we need to and stamping where we need to, because it kind of feels like right in here it's just like a little bit patchy. So we're just going to like stamp in that area. Perfect. Next up for the blue, we'll go into like this medium type blue shade. This is called Door Girl. I'm just going to dip into that. Again, a little bit of hiccup. Not quite as much as the first shade. And then we're just going to sit there. Just like focus this in the crease and a little bit above. Then we'll color switch that brush, and we're next gonna go into that Sea Princess shade. So kind of like that. And then we'll just take that. This one has a ton of kick up. Like that's a lot. And again, we'll just start focusing that right in here. Tap, tap. Now, I will say with this shade right here, I'm not noticing a huge difference So I'm wondering if it's kind of blending itself out. So I'm just gonna start taking it and like tapping it on, and then just lightly starting to kind of blend it out. Yeah, that seems to be best for this shade. Oh no. See, it just kind of gets patchy right here. Like you could see the darkness and it just gets patchy right there. So let's just like take this and we're just gonna stamp it on and I guess leave it like that. Okay. All right. Then we'll move into the last, like the blue shade right here. Club Sapphire. And we'll pick that up. Just start tapping that onto the outer corner. Again, it's kind of looking patchy right here. I'm not sure what the issue is with this specific palette, but I seem to be struggling the most with this. The other palette was so easy to use. I had zero issue. Okay, so while I'm color switching that, let's move on into this shade right here called Kelly Green. And that's what we'll use for the outer corner over here. All right, so we have a couple of different glitter options. So we've got, I'm gonna take this right here. This is called Ocean Water. And we're just gonna stamp that on. Okay, all right. Wow, okay. Wow. All right, so then for the other eye, I'm gonna do the Roses Remix. This was not one that was included in the palette, but I did get it because they discontinued another shade. So we're just gonna see. Ooh, yeah. That's really pretty. Okay, so here we have a little bit of like two separate looks. So I'm gonna go finish off a good portion of my face. We'll come back for the lower lash line, another bronzer. Oh my, we've got stuff everywhere. Just so you know, this palette did have a ton of kick up, more than the other ones, and it's like literally all over my face. It's everywhere. So now we're gonna move on into the bronzers. Since I have two bronzers left, I felt like maybe we could do one on each side. Oh, just dipped in twice, and let me tell you, they're pigmented. And so we're just gonna take that and just start stippling that into the cheek area. I will say I really do like this brush. I think the brush is really nice. Just like perfect for like that bronzer. And if you wanted to contour, it'd be perfect for that as well. So this is a really good brush, I will say. And then we'll take that and we'll put like half of it up right here. Okay. All right, so here we have the Good Times tan lines. This is, I would say it's a little bit more orange than the other one, but I will say I don't think it's like too orange. Like I still think like this is like a good bronzer for me. So this is the one that I'm like a little bit nervous about. This is called Sandy Buns. So this is where I'm like, I think this might be too orange. Like this might be the one. It's too orange, so let's like dip on in. Just like so pigmented, and just start stippling that in. I feel like it is looking a little bit redder than the other one. Yeah. I will say this one right here has a lot of kick up. It doesn't stay like as pigmented as the others. I feel like I'm having to really like, you know, go in with this. I do think this is one of like their lightest shades though. I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. So I don't know if you guys can really tell the difference. I feel like this is more neutral and this is definitely very warm. Let's see. Yeah. So this one right here, I think that like if I had went in with a contour shade and then wanted to like go on top of something a little bit warmer, this, you know, this would be a good option. But it just does seem to pull just kind of like a little bit more orange, just like a little bit more red. This is definitely deeper than the other one. This one's like probably super light. Like this is like light. But this is like a little bit darker, and I feel like it's still like a little bit yellow, a little bit warmer than the first one that we had gone in with. But I don't feel like it's a bad shade. Like I feel like I could have just went in with a little bit less, and like this would have been perfect. Like it's just like a really nice neutral, warm, but not too warm, but like not too neutral either. It's like perfect. It's like right in the middle. I feel like the first one was definitely like a little bit more on like that cooler side. This is definitely like a good neutral, and then this one's definitely really warm. So definitely have some options. So now let's go ahead and we're gonna move on into doing our lower lash line. For this one, we basically did use almost every single color. I think the only one we didn't use was like this and right, so for the bottom lash line over here, I think I'm just gonna start off with the second darkest blue and just kind of start smoking that out. Then we'll take that like darker blue shade, Club Sapphire, I think is what it's called, and just kind of work that like right into here. So then for the other eye, I will take that like second to darkest shade, the Kelly Green, no, this is Sea Princess, and just start smoking that out as well. For both of these, I'm going to go into that Roses Remix. I know we went into Roses Remix right over here for like the lid, but I feel like I could just take that down here. And then we'll take Roses Remix for the other side as well. Yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go finish off the rest of my face so that way we can come back and I can kind of give you my final thoughts on the products that I have tried today. Alright, so I am back with the completed look for these two looks. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of the looks overall? Of course I needed to go in with a black lip. I don't feel like there's ever a bad time for a black lip. Black lip is an all year round type of thing, but I am pleasantly surprised on like how well everything came out. All right, so coming in last place is just going to be this bronzer right here called Sandy Buns. So for me, I just feel like it's very, very warm, and to the point it's almost like it's leading a little bit red. Like a little bit too red and too orange. The one thing I didn't really care about for like the site and the way this was set up was that when I clicked on these, there wasn't like the description, like this would best suit like fair skin tones, light skin tones, mediums, deep, you know, whatever. So I was literally just like sitting here like, I don't know what the best is gonna be. So I bought 3. And I do feel like I found ones that work, but it's just like the fact that like I didn't want to have to buy 3. If I could have bought 1 or 2, one that was a little bit more cool and one that was a little bit more warm, instead of trying to like figure it out between the two of these. But again, this is definitely really geared towards light fair skin tone, but it just to me seems just like a little bit too red and a little bit too orange, which brings us to the next one, which is Good Times and Tan Lines. So that's the one that I tried over here. I will say these come off very pigmented. Like I just dipped my brush in twice and it was like, that is way too much. So I feel like this would have been good if I like go in nice and like with a light hand. But the issue is me going in with a light hand. Like I'll be in the middle of like doing something, listening to something and not paying attention. And then I just go in like too heavy, which happens to have been the case with this one right here. It's just like in person looks just like a little bit like too heavy, a little bit too much. So that's just one reason why I don't really care for that. I don't want to have to worry about going in heavy handed and having to like really pay attention whenever I'm listening to my true crime podcast and I'm just in the zone. I don't have to deal with that. Next up is going to be this palette right here. I know you can like mix and match or whatever the case may be, but I did want to stick with like the colors that were sent to me. So, or that were supposed to come in this palette. So first and foremost, I think the blue, came out really good, which is odd because I hate blues. I'm not a blue person. I'm just not, okay? But I think this came out really good. I will say I did experience some patchiness up here with this shade right here, but I was able to like pack it on and like that was no problem, no issue. I love the ocean water shimmer. That looks so beautiful. I love that. The one we didn't try right here is mermaid water. I mean, we tried to put it like out. Let's just see like what happens if we just like pounce it out here. Just like a little bit. Like this is really beautiful as well. And just I've used this before. This is not a new shade. The Mermaid Waters is not a new shade. So I tried that and it's really beautiful. I thought like the blues were really nice. They worked well together. I thought it was great. Diving on into the greens, I really did experience some patchiness with this shade right here and this shade. I really did experience some patchiness. The next issue is that this shade right here and this shade, once you put it on the lid and start to blend it, it's almost like they look identical. I was like, I don't know if I can even tell these apart. And I'm still looking at this and I'm like, can I really even tell it apart? I just feel like I really can't. We didn't try out this shade, but I'm sure it's a beautiful shade. And then the one other issue with this is like for the green, I would have really appreciated something that was like a really nice light green, like really beautiful, really shimmery, maybe like a mint type of green or something like that, or like a mint and like gold type of green. I don't know, something like that. I did get this one, which is not like exclusive to this palette. It's just like a random one that I got because one of the shimmers that I did purchase was not able to be sent. So I did pick this out and I think it went really good. I think it looks really good that way. I'm just really disappointed that the greens just kind of looked the same, especially since I'm like a green eyeshadow kind of person. I was really disappointed that they were just like really super patchy and they just like looked the same and there wasn't really anything different to put on the eyes. But I think it looks really cute, really beautiful. Next up is going to be the very first bronzer that we tried. This is Don't Be Salty. I feel like this was like nice and cool enough for me being as fair as I am. I felt like this wasn't too warm. It wasn't too cool, but it wasn't like neutral either. It was like that nice dab of like coolness that like I would need for my skin, and I felt like it worked beautifully. Again, have to be careful with going in with too much, but that seems to be a consistent theme above all of them. But this is definitely my favorite bronzer color that they have come out with for my skin tone. Next up is this brush. This is a really nice shaped brush because you could really get in there with your contour if need be, just based on how it's like shaped. But then if not, you could just like get all over like your cheeks and stuff. I just think it's like a phenomenal shape. It's not too dense. It's not too fluffy. It's just like that perfect amount you would need to really apply a really decent bronzer contour combo, whatever it is that you're putting on your cheeks. I think that is fantastic. So my favorite is going to have to be this palette right here. We created a couple of different looks. I really didn't experience any patchiness with this. I didn't experience any difficulty blending, anything like that. I came up with there's a lot of different looks you can do. Like I did a purple and I did like a yellow orangish one, but you could always like switch it up. You could do like a sunset. You could do just like something like that. And I love these two shimmers. I think my favorite is definitely going to have to be this one right here, Coming to Stage. I mean, it's like pink and it's like golden and it's like champagne and like a little bit of purple. It's so beautiful. I loved when I put that shade on. Again, I didn't have any issues with like any patchiness, any of them like looking the same, anything like that. I thought this was very diverse, very easy to use compared to the other one, which we did have a little bit of issues with. All right, so that is it for today's video. This is testing out some new Give Me Glow makeup, seeing what we think. Are you guys going to pick up any of this? Are you guys going to maybe purchase one of the palettes, not the other? Are you thinking about just purchasing the palettes and mixing and matching like your own singles? What are your guys' thoughts? What do you guys think of the bronzers? What do you guys think of the bronzers? Let me know all of that down below. I hope that you all enjoyed. If you did, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click the little bell so you're notified of all my future uploads. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye!